iconic species, the tiger. The global tiger forum is dedicated to the conservation of this magnificent endangered creature.
The Global Tiger Forum, established in 1993 and headquartered in New Delhi, brings together tiger range countries to address the complex challenges facing tiger conservation. It's a collaborative effort to protect these majestic creatures from habitat loss, poaching, and human-wildlife conflict.
Tigers are more than just a national treasure for India. They're a global symbol of wildness and the need to protect our planet's biodiversity.
They're an apex predator playing a crucial role in maintaining healthy ecosystems. Conserving tigers requires a concerted effort across the range from India to Russia, from Nepal to Indonesia. It's a global challenge that demands a global response.
Now, from tigers to toxins, let's delve into the world of chemical pollution. This is where the Stockholm Convention takes center stage, focusing on persistent organic pollutants, or POPs.
The Stockholm Convention, adopted in 2001, aims to eliminate or restrict the production and use of these harmful chemicals. POPs are nasty because they persist in the environment, accumulate in the food chain, and pose a serious threat to human health and ecosystems. They can travel vast distances through air and water, contaminating even remote regions.
We've all heard about notorious chemicals like DDT and PCBs, or those are POPs, right?
Exactly. The Stockholm Convention aims to protect us from the harmful effects of these long-lasting toxic substances. It's about phasing them out and finding safer alternatives.
Alongside the Stockholm Convention, we have the Basel Convention, tackling the global challenge of hazardous waste. This is about preventing the dumping of toxic waste in developing countries, a major environmental justice issue.
You're right. The Basel Convention, adopted in 1989, aims to protect human health and the environment from the adverse effects of hazardous waste. It's about ensuring the safe and environmentally sound management of these wastes from their generation to their disposal. It promotes the principle of polluter pays, ensuring that the responsibility for hazardous waste lies with the countries that generated it.
So it's about holding polluters accountable and preventing the exploitation of developing countries as dumping grounds for toxic waste.
Precisely. The Basel Convention encourages countries to minimize waste generation and promote environmentally sound recycling and disposal methods. And it also has a crucial amendment, the Basel Ban Amendment, which was adopted in 1995.
Tell me more about that amendment.
The Basel Ban Amendment takes things a step further by prohibiting the export of hazardous waste from developed to developing countries. It's a significant step towards environmental justice, ensuring that all countries have the right to a clean and healthy environment. It's a recognition that we all share this planet and have a collective responsibility to protect it.
Now, from hazardous waste, let's move to a success story. The protection of the ozone layer. This is where the Vienna Convention and the Montreal Protocol take the spotlight.
The Vienna Convention, adopted in 1985, set the stage for international cooperation on protecting the ozone layer, which is like Earth's sunscreen, shielding us from harmful ultraviolet radiation from the sun.
And then the Montreal Protocol, adopted in 1987, really got things moving with concrete action to phase out ozone-depleting substances.
Yeah.
It's considered one of the most successful environmental treaties ever.
It truly is a remarkable achievement. The Montreal Protocol is a shining example of how international cooperation can effectively tackle a global environmental challenge. It has successfully phased out the production and consumption of nearly 100 ozone-depleting substances, leading to the recovery of the ozone layer.
It's a reminder that we can solve global problems when we work together, and the story doesn't end there. The Kigali Amendment, adopted in 2016, builds on this success story by tackling another group of chemicals that threaten the ozone layer and contribute to climate change.
The Kigali Amendment extends the Montreal Protocol to phase down hydrofluorocarbons, or HFCs. These chemicals are widely used in refrigeration and air conditioning, but they're potent greenhouse gases, so phasing them down is a win-win. It protects the ozone layer and helps combat climate change.
It's fascinating how these environmental issues are all interconnected, protecting the ozone layer, tackling climate change, safeguarding biodiversity. It's all part of the same puzzle.
Exactly. The Kigali Amendment demonstrates the power of international cooperation to address these interconnected environmental challenges. It's a testament to the ongoing efforts to protect our planet for present and future generations.
From protecting the ozone layer to tackling mercury pollution, we now come to the Minamata Convention.
The Minamata Convention, adopted in 2013, aims to protect human health and the environment from the adverse effects of mercury, a highly toxic heavy metal that can accumulate in the food chain and cause serious health problems, especially affecting the nervous system and child development.
Mercury It's not just a problem for old thermometers anymore.
Definitely not. Mercury pollution is a global issue, and the Minamata Convention promotes the reduction and, where feasible, the elimination of mercury releases from various sources, from artisanal gold mining to coal-fired power plants.
It's about recognizing the global reach of these pollutants and the need for collective action to protect human health.
Precisely. The Minamata Convention reflects the growing understanding of the interconnectedness of human health and environmental well-being. Protecting the environment is ultimately about protecting ourselves.
Now let's step into the fascinating world of agricultural heritage systems, where tradition meets sustainability. That's where the globally important agricultural heritage systems, or GIAHS, come into play.
GIHS are remarkable landscapes that embody the harmony between human communities and their environment. They showcase traditional agricultural practices that have sustained communities for generations while preserving biodiversity and cultural heritage. They're like living museums of sustainable agriculture.
It's about recognizing the value of traditional knowledge and the importance of preserving these unique agricultural systems in a world facing challenges like climate change and food security. These traditional systems offer valuable lessons for the future.
Absolutely. GIAHS are not just about the past. They offer valuable insights for the present and the future, promoting sustainable agriculture and food security in the face of modern challenges.
India has 3 regions recognized as GIHS. Koraput traditional agriculture in Odisha, the saffron heritage of Kashmir Valley in Pampur, and the Kutad below sea level farming system in Kerala. These are examples of how communities have adapted to their local environments to create resilient and productive agricultural systems.
They're a source of inspiration for sustainable agriculture and rural development in the 21st century. They showcase the ingenuity and resilience of farming communities and their ability to work in harmony with nature to produce food and sustain their livelihoods.
And speaking of sustainable agriculture, let's explore an important initiative, the Global Alliance for Climate-Smart Agriculture, or GACSA.
GKCSA, launched in 2014, is a voluntary platform that brings together a diverse range of stakeholders, from governments and international organizations to farmers and researchers, to promote climate-smart agriculture. It's about transforming agriculture to make it more resilient to climate change while ensuring food security and reducing greenhouse gas emissions. It's a triple win.
So it's about finding ways to produce food that are both environmentally friendly and climate resilient. It's about adapting to the challenges of a changing climate while ensuring that we can feed a growing population.
Exactly. Climate-smart agriculture is a key strategy for achieving sustainable development in the face of climate change. It's about ensuring that our food systems are not just productive, but also resilient, sustainable, and equitable.
Wow, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. It's amazing to see the sheer number of conventions and protocols addressing a wide range of environmental challenges.
It's a testament to the growing global awareness of environmental issues and the recognition that we need to work together to protect our planet. These agreements provide the framework, the guidelines, and the inspiration for action.
It can feel overwhelming at times, but it's also incredibly inspiring to see these collective efforts to create a more sustainable future, from protecting endangered species to phasing out toxic chemicals, from restoring degraded land to combating climate change. These agreements represent a global movement for a healthier planet.
It really is remarkable how these conventions and protocols have shaped our approach to environmental issues. We've seen a shift from a reactive approach to a more proactive and preventative one. It's about recognizing that protecting the environment is not just a moral imperative, but also essential for economic development, social well-being, and ultimately our own survival.
It's like we've gone from putting out fires to building fire-resistant homes, and what's fascinating is how these agreements have evolved, reflecting our growing understanding of environmental issues and the interconnectedness of our planet. We started with the foundational agreements of the 1970s, like the Stockholm Declaration, which laid the groundwork for international environmental law and cooperation.
The Stockholm Conference was a wake-up call, a moment when the world acknowledged that environmental problems couldn't be ignored or addressed in isolation. It was a call for collective action, a recognition that we're all in this together.
And then came the Rio Earth Summit in 1992, which really propelled the world towards sustainable development. The Rio Declaration Agenda 21, the Forest Principles, they all emphasize this idea of balancing economic development with environmental protection.
Rio was a turning point, a moment when sustainable development went from a fringe concept to a mainstream idea. It was about recognizing that we can't have economic prosperity without a healthy environment.
And since Rio, we've seen a proliferation of conventions and protocols, each addressing specific environmental challenges, but also contributing to this broader goal of sustainable development. The Kyoto Protocol and the Paris Agreement stand out as landmark achievements in addressing climate change, while conventions like the CBD, UNCCD, and Ramsar Convention focus on safeguarding biodiversity, combating desertification, and protecting wetlands, all crucial pieces of the sustainability puzzle.
Each agreement has its own unique story, its own set of challenges and achievements, but they all reflect this growing understanding that we need to manage our planet's resources, wisely protect its ecosystems, and ensure a healthy and equitable future for all.
And let's not forget the Montreal Protocol, which successfully phased out ozone-depleting substances. It's a shining example of what we can achieve when we work together. It's a beacon of hope, a reminder that we have the power to solve global environmental problems.
The Montreal Protocol shows that international cooperation can work. It's a testament to human ingenuity and our ability to come together to protect our planet.
And it's not just about governments either. These agreements have also spurred a wave of action from civil society businesses and individuals. It's a global movement for a sustainable future, and everyone has a role to play.
Absolutely. These conventions and protocols have created a ripple effect, raising awareness, changing behaviors, and inspiring innovation from consumers demanding sustainably sourced products to businesses adopting eco-friendly practices. The impact of these agreements goes far beyond government policies.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of international environmental conventions and protocols, what key takeaways should our listeners keep in mind? We've covered a lot of ground from the early days of environmental awareness to the complex web of agreements we have today.
I think the most important takeaway is that environmental challenges are global challenges. Climate change, biodiversity, lost pollution, these issues don't respect national borders. They affect us all, and we need to work together to find solutions.
It's about recognizing our interconnectedness. What happens in one part of the world can have ripple effects across the globe. We're all part of this intricate web of life, and we need to protect it together.
Exactly. And these agreements demonstrate the power of international cooperation. They show that by working together, we can achieve remarkable progress in addressing these complex environmental challenges.
They give us hope that we're not alone in this fight. There's a global community working towards a sustainable future, and we can all be a part of it.
And finally, I think it's crucial to remember that these agreements are not just pieces of paper. They're catalysts for action. They provide the framework, the guidelines, and the inspiration for governments, businesses, communities, and individuals to take concrete steps towards a more sustainable future.
It's a call to action for all of us, whether you're a UPSC aspirant aiming to shape environmental policy, a student passionate about protecting the planet, or simply a concerned citizen. These agreements matter. They're shaping the world we live in, and they offer hope for a healthier and more sustainable future.
So stay curious, stay informed, and stay engaged. The future of our planet depends on it.
That's a wrap for this deep dive into international environmental conventions and protocols. We hope you found it insightful and inspiring. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more fascinating explorations into the world around us. Until next time, keep learning and keep diving deeper. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of international environmental conventions and protocols, what key takeaways should our listeners keep in mind? We've covered a lot of ground, from the early days of environmental awareness to the complex web of agreements we have today.
Well, I think the most important takeaway is that environmental challenges are global challenges. Climate change, biodiversity loss, pollution. These issues don't respect national borders. They affect us all, and we need to work together to find solutions.
It's about recognizing our interconnectedness,
Mm-hmm.
right? What happens in one part of the world can have ripple effects across the globe. We're all part of this intricate web of life, and we need to protect it together.
Exactly. And these agreements demonstrate the power of international cooperation. They show that by working together, we can achieve remarkable progress in addressing, these complex environmental challenges.
They give us hope that we're not alone in this fight. There's a global community working towards a sustainable future, and we can all be a part of it.
And finally, I think it's crucial to remember that these agreements are not just pieces of paper. They're catalysts for action. They provide the framework, the guidelines, and the inspiration for governments, businesses, communities, and individuals to take concrete steps towards a more sustainable future.
It's a call to action for all of us, whether you're a UPSC aspirant aiming to shape environmental policy, a student passionate about protecting the planet, or simply a concerned citizen. These agreements matter. They're shaping the world we live in, and they offer hope for a healthier and more sustainable future.
So stay curious, stay informed, and stay engaged. The future of our planet depends on it.
That's a wrap for this deep dive into international environmental conventions and protocols. We hope you found it insightful and inspiring. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more fascinating explorations into the world around us. Until next time, keep learning and keep diving deeper.